What's good, yeah, and welcome to another vid. So, Watch as 15 is here. Watch as 15 has been cleared. It's my time to show you how I did it. So that's what we'll be doing today. And yeah, you're going to get two teams. Number one, it's the same team but with different awakenings, all right? So the team and the run you're going to get here with full walkthrough, full talk through, everything else in between is going to be everything or every legendary A0 and every epic A5 version. The team you can see right here. I think the only one that's like easy to replace would probably be Lucius. You can replace Lucius with like, I don't know. I think you can replace Lucius with like Alora, potentially Ares, Alistair, Imrit. Like Lucius's role really isn't all that big, which you'll see. And then the second run you're going to get is a A5 Wukong A5 Kigiri version, as well as a Diao. So Diao A1 A5 Wukong A5 Kigiri. I'm going to put it in. It's going to be towards the end. If you have these units, you can go over there. It's going to be no commentary, just music, and then you can rush through the run if you're interested in that. I'm going to show you the A0 versions. And outside of this, is there anything else I need to mention? Obviously, if you have an A1 Kigiri, A2 Kigiri, A3 Kigiri, A1 Wukong, A3 Wukong, A5 Wukong, this whole stuff is just going to get easier. They're going to do more damage, making your life better. So, yeah, I think we shouldn't be talking around too much. We'll be going straight in and you get the gear at the end.
Our research begins.
Alright, and into the stage we go. Get ready, the timings are gonna be disgusting as usual. So if it is too fast for you, either turn down the video speed or maybe do like 5 seconds playback, rewatch it, whatever. We're gonna go quick and it's gonna be at some points a lot of stuff happening at the same time, especially right here in the beginning where we start off with Soleil, then Wukong, following it up with Diao, as well as insta-ulting with Diao. Next step is going to be placing in Idril, and then watching Soleil. So Soleil is going to shoot one fireball, shoot a second fireball. As soon as the second fireball hits, or as soon as you see the second purple number, you're going to trigger her ultimate. From here on out, we can fast forward a bit up until 17 cost, where we place down Kigiri. Soleil kills her enemies. Whenever she does, you can remove her. We can fast forward again 12 cost. 12 cost means we're going to be placing in Lucius. Once more, you can fast forward or you can keep it on 1x speed. It is pretty much the same thing. This guy is going to come out of the gate. He's going to swing at Kigiri. And then you're going to ult with Kigiri, ult with Idril, and ult with Lucius. Second swing has happened. And now two things can happen. Alright, first, you gotta take out Kigiri, right? Take out Kigiri so he doesn't die. But two things can happen. Number one, Kigiri swallow counter triggers, which means he dashes in and he dashes back, which basically one-shots this guy down there, which happens in 25% of cases, unless you have him at A5, which means that it would happen every single time. We have him at A0. It did not trigger, which leads to him still being alive. And then Lucius is going to fire against him. And we're going to be bringing in Leia as well as Iona. So here Lucius is going to be able to kill this enemy whenever he does, be it over here or there, or Idril helps out, you're going to be able to remove. And then for the moment, again, it looks like a lot of stuff is happening, but nothing really happens up until the boss spawns in, which is right now. And then you can, for example, spam click Wukong. It doesn't really matter. You just want to use your ultimate when the boss spawns in. Pretty simple. Wukong's ultimate is finished. You swap out of Diao Chan's offensive stance, and you also take out Idril. So far, so good. Now, again, it looks like a lot of stuff is happening, but you can just easily trigger both your ultimates here. And we can fast forward time. So, now let's have a brief dive in the mechanics okay, I can't show you the mechanic, but there's something called a Vile Curse. Vile Curse hits your last placed unit and that unit can't be healed. And, or better said, every time they get healed, they get damaged. So they're just going to die. But Wukong's clones count as summoned units. So that is why you really want, when Vile Curse happens or Vile Curse casts, you want one of Wukong's clones to be on the field because they are going to be able to take the Vile Curse for the team. So, depending on your Wukong build, you're going to be at like between 85 and like 80%. We are not going to ult straight away. And the reason for that is because at 76%, he's going to go into the void, into the ruin state, I think it's what it's called. And then you can't hit him anymore. When you can't hit him anymore, Wukong also can't be summoning any clones, which could lead to a scenario where your clones are all gone and then Vile Curse happens. So my indicator is always, you see this right there, that is when it indicates, okay, the next wave is about to spawn. And this next wave indicator means he's very close to casting Vile Curse. So right here is then when I like to trigger the ultimate. You can see Vile Curse happens, we trigger the ult. He's pushed to 76%. It doesn't matter. So our Wukong build is good enough that he's getting pushed to 76% right here. If not, Wukong's ultimate is going to be able to do it for you, right? So Vile Curse happens. And you can see this one clone barely survives. He was the one getting targeted by Vile Curse. Good job. No matter how you end up timing it, preferably like I did, but it's not a must. No matter how you time it, you have to have a clone on the field when Vile Curse happens. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Alright? So, next step, now it's going to be a bit quicker. We bring in Soleil, we bring in Lightlock, we bring in Regulus as well as Kigiri. Kigiri actually facing to the left. Alright, so far so good. What's now going to happen, out of this ruin state, the boss is going to leave the ruin state still in front of Wukong. So Wukong is able to block him. This is what you want. If the boss walks past Wukong, it doesn't work. This whole strategy goes down the drain. And you can start over, basically. Here, we're going to use Kigiri's ultimate as well as Soleil's. And then you see that Regulus is getting hit, everybody's getting hit. Wukong is getting ready to ult, so we activate Diao. You wait until you see the hearts around Wukong. Very important. You see these hearts going over. That means Diao has swapped. There's a certain cooldown between Diao swapping and Diao actually swapping. So you have to wait for these hearts to appear. Then you can trigger his ultimate. And then as soon as the ultimate is over, you can swap back again. Alright? Then we can trigger Iona as well as Leia. Vile Curse happens. You see he's at 50%. Again, the important part is that Vile Curse happens and a Wukong clone is on the field. If that's not the case, what you can do is by hitting, if he's already blue, what you can do is place down someone like Egil or Lucius. So the timing here is a bit tricky, but he either ends up being blue, or if he's not blue already, Vile Curse is going to just hit a Wukong clone. So if he turns blue, if he goes into the ruin state and there is no Wukong clones on the field, remove Wukong, remove Diao, and place down someone that can take that ruin, that Vile Curse, which we didn't have to do here. So we just end up removing everybody. Now this single guy, even though he doesn't look dangerous, he's pretty dangerous, so we're going to activate Regulus's ultimate. And we are going to be triggering Kigiri's ult. So boss attacks, Kigiri, he just takes care of that one minion guy. doesn't really make a difference. He also hits the boss. So far so good. Now we can just fast forward time. You see how we are also going to activate Soleil. You see how Regulus's invulnerability triggered even though there's only one guy? Yeah. Oh yeah, normally Iona manages to kill everyone. This time she didn't quite do so, but that's fine. It's more of an unusual case. So, Vile Curse happens. Prepare someone. In this case, it's going to be Idril. Vile Curse gets popped on Idril. Remove Idril. Live Gucci. And here we're actually going to wait a bit until there's like 5 seconds left for Wukong to spawn. It's just, I just like it better that way, I guess. So we trigger Kigiri's ultimate. Kigiri brings him down to 26%. So now we can activate Iona to start attacking these guys. Use Leia to bring our ultimate back and already place in Wukong as well as Diao. So Wukong, Diao in. Boss is still on 26%. Alright. We can swap the stance, activate Wukong's ult, and then swap stance back. Then right here we can use Kigiri's ultimate. You see how there's a Wukong clone on the field. So Wukong clone on the field means you don't have to worry about the Vile Curse. If there is or isn't a Wukong on the field, what you then want to do is you want to place again someone like Lucius by removing, let's say, Soleil. Soleil is the one you can remove, but if there's a Wukong clone on the field, there's no need to do so. So Kigiri's ultimate finally triggers. Took a while, but it did. And now it's just getting, it's us getting to the end. And that is Wukong's ultimate triggering and finishing this fight. Pretty close. Darn close. One tip I can give you is don't trigger Kigiri's ultimate too early. You preferably want Wukong on the field longer, right? And also if your Wukong is stronger, you don't even need the second ultimate. Yeah, and I guess if you're a bit lucky also, he summons his clones earlier, stopping the boss in its place. But here you go, victory, everybody A0. We're getting a crit rate, crit damage, attack flat, WorGuides ring as a reward. Sadly, where's the attack speed? This is sadly not a curse faction, so you can't put it on Björna. I'll put kind of like a clip on how we cleared it with everything, I think with Wukong A5 at the end, if I feel like it. But we might have to revisit this later this week or next week. But yeah, here's the clear. There you go. And yeah, we see each other later in the video. Alright, so you've seen me end the fight for the second time, which means we can't go back into the fight again, which leads to me having to show you the gear this way. I hope you don't mind. So, Leia is just full on attack with attack speed, attack with attack speed, attack with attack speed. Some extra healing effects here. You have some attack speed, rage regen healing effect, attack speed, healing effect. You don't need her as good. She just needs to heal. She doesn't need nearly as much attack speed. It just helps stat wise. You can see it right here. It's a pretty good HP based healer, but you don't need as much healing. Artifact wise, we were running a 25 Euphonic Coronet, but with the way we've timed Leia's ultimates, there's no need to worry about this because we didn't time her with the ultimates together, so you don't have to worry about this Coronet. You can just use any other healing artifact instead, and just make sure that you time that second Wukong ultimate properly on 75. Now, the main man himself, Wukong, we've been running him with attack, crit rate, crit damage, flat attack, crit rate, crit damage, flat attack, crit rate, crit damage, flat attack. Again, he doesn't need to be that good. You have that second ultimate to kind of save you, and then you have some crit rate, crit damage, crit rate, crit damage. Also, Wukong Awakenings, specifically A2, A3, A5 are obviously going to help with damage. So if your Wukong is higher than A0, gear doesn't need to be as good. Artifact wise, you have the plus 10. If you have a plus 13, plus 16, plus 19, you know the deal. Gear could be lower, which leaves us with Kigiri. So the way we had Kigiri is attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, rage region. I wouldn't put too much value on rage region. Here, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, as well as crit damage, attack percent, crit rate, attack speed, and attack. Once more, crit rate, crit damage on the left side. Kigiri Awakenings once again help. If you have more Kigiri Awakenings, you need less gear. Artifacts, Demonic Relic, higher Demonic Relic, less gear, you get the deal. You've heard these lines before. Which brings us to Lucius. Lucius, Soulbound Arcana with attack percent, attack percent, attack percent, as well as crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, and a Blightcaller's Claw. Otherwise, Spirit Siphon also works. He really isn't that important for the success of the stage. Which brings us to the Diao we've used, which is Diao in a Wings of Grace. Could also be Invigoration, just means you need slightly more gear on Wukong, or just technically you can even stomach not having it. But we did have a Wings of Grace, which is the reason why we placed Wukong, followed by Diao. So yeah, stat-wise, attack percent, attack percent, attack percent, attack speed. And on the left side here, you have attack percent, attack flat, attack speed, as well as attack percent and attack speed. What is important is if you want your Diao, or if you want this run to be easier, especially the last 25%, get more attack speed on Diao. Have attack speed on this piece, have attack speed on this piece, and then preferably have attack speed on these pieces as well. The higher your attack speed on Diao, the more she's going to heal, and the easier of a time she has keeping Wukong alive. A2 helps, A3 unnecessary, A4 also unnecessary. I guess A5 for like those clutch heals if you really need it, but I don't think it's necessary at all. Regulus we've been running in HP percent with defense percent, not that well rolled. Tempered Will set. If I could recommend a set instead of Tempered Will, on Regulus, Unshaken Will would work better, but I don't have a proper Unshaken Will set at the moment. So here again, HP bonus, defense bonus is rolled rather low. So if the defense bonus was higher, he would be able to survive more. Here we have some HP bonus, defense bonus. If you have the exclusive for the Watcher faction, be sure to use it. But yeah, we don't have it. Then we have some HP defense as well as some HP defense. Again, the defense rolled a bit low. Overall, we're totaling to exactly 100% defense bonus, as well as a total HP pool of 112,000 and a Bastion Ring on 25. I think Regulus is exclusive, might help you out also. You don't need the extra block, but you do probably kind of need the damage reduction. Though to be fair, it's only most of the time one enemy hitting, so I think Regulus is exclusive at 10 should be fine. You could also be giving him, I guess, a Regal quest at potentially 25. Yeah, those are the ones you could mostly use. Which brings us to the other units we've used, which should be only epics really. So Iona is an attack percent, attack percent, attack percent, attack percent crit damage, attack percent crit damage. Skill wise, fully skilled, awaken wise, fully awakened, artifact wise, Tear of Twilight. Now the star of the show, Soleil. Infernal Roar with attack percent, Infernal Roar with attack percent, Infernal Roar with attack percent, then attack percent crit damage, attack percent crit damage. These are the following stats. Another Tear of Twilight. I think you can kind of get rid of the Tear of Twilight on Iona, depending on how the fight plays out, but that's what we had on her. Is there another unit I've missed? Idril, right? So Idril, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed. The rage region is unimportant. Attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, as well as attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, attack. Once more, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage. It's not as crucial. You've seen that Idril still had enough ult. You just need enough damage to kill the healers at the bottom there, and then you're fine. Artifact choice was Idril's Gaze. I still think that's the superior choice. You can try working with Spirit Siphon or Blightcaller's Claw, but Idrit's Gaze is it, in my opinion. Lightlock. That guy still exists. Instead of Lightlock, just use a legendary healer. But if you are using Lightlock, we have him with attack percent and attack speed. Attack speed, attack percent, healing effect, HP. What the hell is that gear? Don't have your gear like this, okay? Use attack percent instead of rage region right here. Use attack speed as a substat. I don't even know. No wonder regulars looked so close to fucking dying. Just use a piece that is preferably this, but you can see, at least on this account, I don't have it. So just attack percent with attack speed. So a piece similar to this in Ancient or a non-Ancient, it's totally fine. Here, on the other hand, we have attack percent with attack speed and healing effect. It's kind of, I guess, making up for the right side. So if your right side is better than what I have, you can get worse on the left side. And then here again, we have just attack percent as well as some healing effect. If you have attack speed on the weapon, even better. No one forces you to use Lightlock. If you're using Lightlock, make sure he has an euphoric orb. And this has been the gear. Peace. Alright, so I've decided to do this end part a bit differently, and that is, this is a run featuring A5 Wukong, still A0 Kigiri, but I'll just tell you what happens if you were to use an A5 Kigiri. And that is right here, when you trigger Kigiri's ultimate, you're guaranteed to get the front backslash. So the front backslash is enough to completely kill off this minion by yourself, which leaves you, which pretty much looks like this, right? This is pretty much the A5 slash, which leaves you with just Idril being enough to kill this minion if he still survives, which doesn't really happen all that often. And then you don't need to use Lucius, so you could bring in someone else instead of Lucius as kind of like a flex unit, but it's not necessary. So let's move on to the next. Alright, so if you are using A5 Wukong, you gotta be careful because A5 Wukong is significantly stronger than A0 Wukong, which means you're going to end up with a scenario like this, where you're going to be able to trigger layer. So if you place everything properly with on cost, right? If you follow the same order, but you place everything on cost, you're going to be able to get off Layer's ultimate. As soon as Leia turns turns orange, right? That's when you trigger Wukong. And then what needs to happen is right here. You're going to be able to push him down to below 76% instantly, right? So he's going to be instantly pushed below 76%. You can see him turning blue. And that's one of the main differences. It eliminates this like waiting for the next Ruin buff. If you have an A5 Wukong, if you still want to follow the earlier guide, make sure that you tone down your gear to kind of pretty much go along with this, right? That's basically what you want to do. So up until there, everything is pretty much the same. All right, so here boss again has been pushed to 50%, which is when you can remove Diao, when you can remove Wukong. And then you obviously start building the other formation. So here we are, kind of like me showing you like a different ending-ish that's a bit different. And that is right here, you see him turning the 25%. Do not say Kigiri. Just rather than having him facing frontward, which is what I had in this video, just have him looking to the left, or better said, to the left, right there. And then you can keep him on the field. It just means more damage. Right here, we've then placed Diao and Wukong. You've seen that Diao is A1, but with this placement and the placement I've shown you, it doesn't make a difference. And the biggest thing you're gonna notice is the pace. If you have an A5 Wukong, you're just pushing the phases faster, meaning that less minions spawn. They don't really make a difference, but less minions spawn. And the whole fight just looks a bit different. Nothing really changes, but it's just visually different. Then right here, usually you have a Kigiri here with whom you can still ult. Vile Curse happens, and you have Wukong on the field, so Wukong can then start summoning his clones. The clones or Lucius would be the last summon, so they're getting hit with the anti-heal. And then right here, simply you just use a single Wukong ultimate, and it basically again takes him down to below 10%, and the rest is just pretty much auto hits or Kigiri's ultimate if you have him on the field. And yeah, this is how you end it with an A5 Wukong. So yeah, be careful, your Wukong might actually be too strong.